Somebody sold a Magic the Gathering card for $3 million. 3 million, not billion, 3 million.
I've played exactly one game in my life.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what? I was like,
I've never played a game at all.
I was like, this is like nerd Uno. Why are we doing this? Layoffs at Tesla continue. I don't know, either you business experts got anything to say here?
I'm sure this will work.
You would expect, okay, maybe they reduce the staff a little bit and they don't expect to grow it much right now because of, lack of demand, but you don't fire everybody.
Hasn't their only new product recently been the Cybertruck?
It cuts off the most fingers.
Like, I didn't believe you last week, Dave, when you said that it looked like Tesla was becoming a dying company, but after this week and the layoffs and what they're doing, I kind of looks like it.
I think the board, no matter how much ketamine they do with Elon Musk or whatever it is he keeps asking them to do, they're just going to get rid of it. I'm producer Dave, as my name might imply. I'm the producer of this show, and I'm the co-producer of this show, and I'm the producer of all the other shows here at Echoplex Media. You go to echoplexmedia.com to find out more, or maybe just listen to this show, as this is far less terrifying than the other sorts of things we're doing here. My first story is a bit fun and a little something maybe that people wouldn't expect me to be interested in. Somebody sold a Magic the Gathering card for $3 million. 3 million, not billion, 3 million. It's the most expensive Magic card ever sold. It's a 1993 limited edition Alpha GCG Pristine 10, whatever that means. The card is not playable in most Magic games because it's too powerful. It's like, I guess, cheating, even though it's one of the cards. And it's a Black Lotus style Magic the Gathering cards, and lesser Black Lotus Magic the Gathering cards have gone for mere six-figure numbers. Did either of you ever get into Magic the Gathering?
Nope.
I've played exactly one game in my life.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what? I was like,
I've never played a game at all.
I was like, this is like nerd Uno. Why are we doing this?
You know what though? I shouldn't talk because for a while I was like I was unironically really into the My Little Pony trading card game. It works the same as like a CCG, but they called it a TCG, even though like you weren't meant to trade the cards. But yeah, it was a My Little Pony game that was similar kind of to Magic the Gathering.
In my Discord server is a Magic the Gathering / Marjorie the Gathering channel. And it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. Ashley, the media wench, put that up. So it's like people talking about their Magic cards, and then discussions of a certain House member from Georgia. It's pretty.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you lowercase that T when you're talking about Magic.
I don't know. I'm not sure it was me that came up with it, but I'm going to take credit for it. I think I may be the first one that started calling the congressperson Marjorie the Gathering. Anyway, I got another story. This one's less fun, maybe more in line with what we came here expecting to hear. Layoffs at Tesla continue. The story is from The Verge, because that's where I got both of my stories this week, because I'm lazy. Most recent layoffs hit software, services, and engineering departments, which seems like a lot of Tesla. And the entire EV charging team got laid off. In an email, Elon said that this is all because the company needs to be, you guessed it, hardcore. And workers whose bosses don't make the cut will lose their job, according to Musk. I guess it doesn't matter if you're doing a hell of a job over there. If your boss isn't doing well, out. And competition from real automakers and a drop in EV demand are causing Tesla sales to lag. And Elon at one point suggested, well, if sales are down 20%, we should just can 20% of our employees, because that's how you make that kind of decision, I suppose. I don't know, either you business experts got anything to say here?
I'm sure this will work. Positive.
Don't think I'm a business expert. Every business I've started is either failed or just really isn't going anywhere so far. Maybe that'll change, but that's beside the point. I heard, I don't know if you said this specifically, but they laid off everybody in their it was the charging group. I don't know if it was a supercharging group specifically, right? Yeah. And it's like people were saying, speculating, like they just opened up that network to all these other car companies. And, people were thinking, oh, this is a great idea for Tesla because now they'll be able to, make money off their charging, because they charge like twice as much as the actual electricity costs that come into them. So it could be like a good, other revenue source for them. But if they like fired everybody. Like you would expect, okay, maybe they reduce the staff a little bit and they don't expect to grow it much right now because of, lack of demand, but you don't fire everybody.
But it's hardcore.
It's really bad.
It's hardcore.
Yeah. So like
you need some people to maintain your network.
This was like one path that they could have had to make a decent chunk of change. And who knows, maybe they will rehire some people, or maybe they'll somehow manage without a team to like manage it. But like
they'll say you're holding it wrong if it doesn't work.
There was this team, and then I think the other team, weren't they like the team that was in charge of making new products?
Yeah.
Oh, the Onion always has the best take. Onion was like, they just fired the whole brakes department. Right?
Because this company needs to go, not stop.
Well, like they don't have a lot of new products. Hasn't their only new product recently been the Cybertruck?
Bold of you to call that a product.
That's been going so well for them. Come on.
It cuts off the most fingers.
Out of all their products, this one cuts off the most.
Hey, they supposedly fixed that, although I don't know if anybody's tried.
That someone has tried on YouTube, and it really hurt their finger, and then Tesla said, you did the test wrong.
I saw somebody use a carrot, and they put it a little further down the trunk, and it did actually respond and pop back up. But that's beside the point. The point is Tesla. Like, I didn't believe you last week, Dave, when you said that it looked like Tesla was becoming a dying company. But after this week and the layoffs and what they're doing, it kind of looks like it.
So, I mean, that might have been a bit of hyperbole, but I think there's going to be an inflection point. I think that there's going to be a point at which, because they have good battery technology, they have good charging technology. When the cars first came out, they looked like nothing else on the road. They were distinctive. They were, prestige items. And I think that if the path forward is going to continue to be anything like that, I think the board, no matter how much ketamine they do with Elon Musk or whatever it is he keeps asking them to do, they're just going to get rid of him because he's like too big a liability. And, the other way this goes is, this kind of impulsive behavior continues and the company kind of fades out, and then at some point its divisions start getting sold off maybe to legacy automakers, because it's not like it's not like the IP's worthless, right? That's pretty much what they have now. This is also like, other companies don't just can 14 or 15% of their workforce because the union says, oh, if you do that, we're all not coming to work tomorrow, actually. So how would you like to have zero of your workforce? And so it's like in some ways it's where labor can, I guess, moderate the impulses of capital, and Tesla and Elon Musk specifically hates labor unions. And so I think that, in his effort to, either through ideological reasons or because he thinks he can pay people less, he may end up actually hurting the company more by not being in a position where cooler heads eventually have to prevail because of the threats of labor action.
I think you're spot on there.
Right. It's not like, it's not like the Ford Motor Company likes having to pay more necessarily for the labor because they're unionized. But I bet the people in the C-suite there could look at the history of the company and see times where labor was actually right and appreciate that, because what are the people that work there? They're car people, actually. And you don't know who the CEO of Ford is, probably. You don't know who's on the board. And I'm pretty sure that the CEO of Ford isn't putting all this weird social pressure on the board members to do drugs and stuff. This is just such a mess. And it's so bad, too, because there's a lot of people that work there. I mean, and a lot of those people lost their jobs. And I think they may have a hard time rehiring for a couple reasons. One, they're going to be like, well, you're just going to fire everybody if you have a bad quarter or a bad year. But then also maybe people don't want that on their resume. And you know what I mean? Maybe it's not prestigious when you lose your job for your last job having been working for this guy. And you may find that you may feel that you're impeded in your ability to find work now because there's a stigma attached to this company because of who's running it. I hope that's not the case. I hope that hiring managers at other companies understand that you just go somewhere to work to buy a house or whatever it is you're going to do. But, there are people are going to have their biases, and I think that a lot of people that went to work there thinking it was one thing and then finding out it was another thing, it's just going to be an even bigger sting maybe if they start to get the impression that now, because this was the last thing on their resume, that people might not want to hire them. They might think that, oh, this person puts up with X, Y, and Z bad corporate behavior. That it could be, they might just go look at Elon's Twitter and notice, hey, you didn't quit of your own volition. This guy's posting about the great replacement, and it looks to me like you have some valuable skills. Why'd you wait to get fired? I hope that doesn't happen, because I don't think that people work there because they love Elon Musk, but there's probably some people who do work there because they love Elon Musk, and they're a lot louder than the ones who don't. I think
it's also going to hurt his other companies too, because not only is it going to be difficult for Tesla now to hire engineers, but he's in charge of, obviously it's going to be hard for Twitter to hire engineers, because I don't think Twitter has the money to hire good engineers. But SpaceX, which as far as I know hasn't had any big controversies like this, but if I was looking for a job right now as a software engineer, and it was between SpaceX and some other company that just some other random company that was giving me a comparable offer, I would not choose SpaceX.
Right, it's run by a crazy person.
How long until Elon fires 20% of this company?
Or just like, and we're not hearing about it, but what are the work conditions like there? Are they like Tesla, where everybody has to be hardcore? And it's like, well, what if I just want to work and collect a paycheck like a fucking normal person?
Yeah, I really don't want to work for someone with the temperament of a toddler.
Right. It'd be a real shame, Tesla, because there's historically it was a big part of the push towards electric vehicles. I think it made other companies, the success, particularly the Model S early on, made other companies do it. Made other companies. They made, I don't think there'd be a Ford Mustang Mach-E, which is a very popular EV, without the Tesla Model S. They're a different type of vehicle. The Mach-E is like a crossover or whatever, but it doesn't mean that the Model S isn't why they did that or part of why they did that. And I think what's going to be the killer for Tesla is, Toyota and Honda are big on hydrogen, because I think there's a lot of hydrogen reserves in Japan. But if those companies, I'm sorry, Tesla's in big trouble if we see an electric Toyota Camry, an electric Toyota Corolla, and then an electric Honda Civic. I think Tesla's in a lot of trouble if we start seeing these very mainstream popular cars that have a good reputation. How long has the Toyota Camry just remained if you're buying just a normal mid-size sedan, you're probably buying the Toyota Camry. So if they're able to bring that reputation along, and if the first one isn't a dud, if it's got a few problems or whatever, that's the nature of putting out a new car. Everybody's going to understand that. But Toyota would do a good job of fixing it. They're in trouble right now. And one of the, it's not going to be BMW has electric cars. Electric cars tend to accept outside of the Nissan Leaf. And what is it? The Bolt or the Volt or whatever. Most of the cars seem, at least the ones available in the US that you're hearing a lot of press about, seem to be higher end cars. But if somebody comes in and scoops up that under $30,000 area before Tesla does, they're going to be in big trouble.
Well, right now, Hyundai is not too far away from that.
And I saw one of their electric cars the other day. It looked great, actually.
Yeah,
it looked great. I was pretty impressed. Have you seen some of these Chinese electric cars? We have to take it with a grain of salt, because some of these companies are maybe connected pretty strongly to the government there, and they may be inclined to fudge some of the data. But even if you just look at some of them, some of those things look amazing. One of them, I was like, that looks like they have this hatchback. I couldn't tell you what it is. They have this hatchback though, and it was just that is a cool car, because it just looks like a modernized version of an 80s, they were calling them hot hatches or whatever, like a GTI or whatever, and it just looked great. I was like, that's so cool. And I don't think those are going to be lower cost, and I don't think the U.S. government's going to be able to keep those out of this country for that much longer, just because people are going to see them, they're going to see that their friends in Europe have them or whatever, and they're going to be like, you got what for $34,000?
Yeah.
Yep.
The BYD is the big one in China that's doing really well. There's a couple other smaller Chinese car companies that are doing okay with electrics, but I think a lot of them are dying soon. But BYD is kicking everybody's butt, and starting to expand into Europe. So yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Xiaomi, they make phones and stuff. They're making electric cars too.
Xiaomi, yeah.
And
I think they're not quite as established yet,
right?
though.
But I mean, that's a big company. Outside of the U.S., they're very popular electronics manufacturer.
And then I heard
they're known
that
for like good quality products too.
Yeah,
I've owned several Xiaomi phones, and they're excellent.
We'll see. I think that Tesla has a pretty short window here where they got to get rid of this guy. I just think they got to get rid of him. Yeah. And I don't think he's not like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Where he owns a special class of stock where they can't vote him off. They can vote him off tomorrow, right?
I don't know what the structure is because they are private. Or no, Tesla's not private.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But maybe instead of working on the Cybertruck, they should have put some money into their lower price car, the Model 2 that has been put on hold recently.
But the Cybertruck was Elon's little baby.
Clearly.
Little
big
little
finger
baby.
munching baby.
Yeah, it could actually, if you leave your baby too close to the trunk, it might kill your baby.
Yeah. So I was going to say I heard Toyota was partnering with a Chinese company to make electric cars. I don't know if it was BYD, but it's not like a Toyota car, right? It was a Chinese made car, but yeah, they're all those Japanese car companies that make great cars have been resisting making electric cars. And I think they're still trying to push hydrogen powered cars in the US. And everybody's like, no, we don't want that.
Nope.
My last 2 cars were Toyotas. And if they come out with an electric car, probably my next car will be a Toyota.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. My mom's had 2 of the Toyota Camry hybrid, and her new one, that car is fast. I had no idea. I hadn't even really been in it much, and we went to get on the freeway, and my mom's like, "Hey, watch this," and she stuffs the gas down, and it was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "This is a Camry." She's like, "This one has 305 horsepower."
Wow,
nice.
So, but I think I don't know why. It could be government pressure, maybe from the Japanese government to do hydrogen, or just because they're so rich in hydrogen over there, they want to maybe harness that as a fuel. But like I said, man, you get a normal looking Corolla and a normal looking Camry that are all electric that have like 400-mile range, 350-mile range, or whatever. Those are going to be the best selling cars in the United States immediately.
Yeah, but if we exclude the Cybertruck, Tesla does make some pretty good cars that lots of people like. I know there's a lot of complaints about fit and finish, but the actual otherwise the engineering in the cars seem to be pretty good. Like people complain that the electric cars are too heavy, but Tesla's put a lot of work into that, making like structural batteries and stuff. So they are still heavier than regular cars, or ICE cars, but they're not that much heavier, not nearly as much as people think. And they're good to drive. And the Model Y, I think, was the best-selling car last year. Not best-selling electric car, best-selling car, period, last year. And
I would say that all of Tesla's cars, except for the Cybertruck, are great cars.
Yeah.
Like Tesla's really only had just the one big stinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
which is pretty impressive, but also their other cars are old at this point. They haven't come out with a new model in a long time.
Right, they haven't come up with new
Cybertruck.
models, but they have been going through a refresh cycle recently.
I will say that
I think Model Y is coming out soon.
The insides of those cars look like shit. I think that the interiors are. I mean, the interiors of those cars look like shit. Like I forget when it was. Like somebody. It was not that long ago. Somebody I know had a Model 3, right? I got out of that car and then got into my dad's 10-year-old Audi, and I was just like, the inside of this car is so much nicer than that brand new Tesla.
I mean, you're comparing an Audi to Model 3.
To me, like
that's a good comparison.
I feel like the deal breaker for me is the iPad dashboard.
Everything being there,
yeah.
I don't want touch control, like climate controls. Like I will never buy a car that does not have physical climate controls.
Right, even if they're technically still like buttons, like, you know what I mean, like they shouldn't be in your like your computer screen. Shouldn't have to go through a bunch of menus to turn on the air conditioner.
Yeah, I want to be able to reach over and touch it, like do whatever I need to the control without having to look at it.
Right. Yeah, that's a deal breaker. The other thing I noticed about the inside of the Tesla, and Matt, if I'm not mistaken, an Audi A3 and a Tesla Model 3 aren't actually that far apart in pricing.
Are they?
No, no.
Model
But,
3 is kind of like their cheapest, smallest car, so I don't know if but Tesla is supposed to be like a little bit more premium brand, so
Well, I just didn't.
Maybe so.
I was like I just didn't like the inside. Just looked. I don't know. It didn't. It looked crappy. I can't explain it. It looked crappy.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just taste, I suppose. But they're gonna get. I think they're gonna get their lunch eaten on the high end. But pretty soon by companies like BMW and Audi, and then if companies like Toyota and Honda come in on the lower and middle end, Tesla's going to be in real trouble. And they're going to have to make good decisions as a company as more competition from the established people. And I really do mean Toyota. Toyota's coming for them. They have to be. Toyota can't not do that. And, they're going to need like sober, and I don't just mean sober by not on a bunch of ketamine. I mean like thoughtful leadership, and Elon's not the guy. And it's a shame too, because these are actually, like, for the first time there was like an American car company, first time in a long time, an American car company making a very desirable, trendy new product. Now,
although I want to say that the Fords, the Mach-E, which my parents have, is really nice. It's a very, very good and comparable to the Model Y. And then, the Lightning was very popular. Unfortunately, they're not making them profitably yet. And I think the Lightning was put on hold because people weren't buying enough of them, and they need to make them more profitable. But the Mach-E's are doing really well.
Yeah, Ford will get it. I mean, that's what they do is trucks. Yeah. And the other thing is it being a Lightning. I think the other thing is going to be like when Ford puts out a regular, like it's something that's not like a premium, like something that's like basically the replacement of an F-150 that's electric, without it having to be this premium Lightning model.
Yeah,
that they're gonna do real well, I think.
I think if they had an electric Ranger, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Like just a little bring back the little truck. Bring back the the little truck with the normal size bed that you could just fit two people in, seatbelts, just a bare bones. Oh, but a speedometer, please. Just a regular speedometer. Like on a it does this, and just like
don't make me have to look at an iPad to see how fast I'm going.
Right, just very practical, small, cheap. Maybe even because it's a smaller vehicle or whatever, it wouldn't have the range, but it would be like perfect for like around town, for delivery drivers, for where you could maybe 250 miles. I mean, you could do a full day delivering stuff in San Francisco or San Jose on a 250-mile charge. So we'll see. I think people are coming for Tesla, not like they're trying to destroy Tesla, but they're trying to, other car companies are going to be trying to make money by selling electric vehicles. And, some of these companies are real good at things. Not too worried about the Dodge coming for anybody right now. This has been How the Tech Are You? It is our weekly tech show from Echoplex Media. You can visit our website, echoplexmedia.com, for more information about the broader project, and click the support tab. You could do things like buy a light to replace the one that went out that you might have noticed during the show. Have a great tech and week. You'll see videos and stuff right here.